Welcome to Lunch Money Bet. This is Ryan,
And this is DeLoe.
and welcome to Lunch Money Bet's tutorial betting series. We're going to teach any brand new sports bettors out there that want to get into the industry, get into the sports betting, and then we're going to teach people who are already sports betting some more tips, secrets, and advice later down the road. We're going to divide this up into many episodes and cover many different sports betting topics. Today, we're going to start with budgeting and how to decide how much to spend when you're sports betting.
Yeah, to begin this series, we're going to be targeting brand new sports bettors. We want to start from square one. Like if you walked into the casino for the first time and you don't know what to do. So we're going to start at like literally step one. And we'll go ahead and make a post on our Instagram or talk about it in our podcast when we're going to transition into some more deep topics.
We have a lot of followers that are brand new, and then we have a lot of followers who are skilled sports bettors and they still collab and bounce ideas off of us. So we'll make sure that we're covering episodes for beginners as well as experts, but we're going to start from square one. So starting today, pretending as if you're walking into the casino for the first time, before you can even decide on what team you want to pick for who's going to win, you need to decide how much money are you going to take into the casino. You need to decide, are you going to go once a week, once maybe every Sunday, maybe once a month, or are you going to do it multiple times a week, daily? There's so many different options and ways of how you can budget and spend money on sports betting.
Yeah, definitely. The big thing is not to get overwhelmed with it. You need to decide how much you want to bet and the dollar amount you want to spend, how often you're going to do it. So the first question I would ask myself if I'm going to start sports betting is, what am I willing to lose? What am I willing to bet? And if I happen to lose, what's the line of where I'm going to lose my mind if I lose? Because it's supposed to be fun. It's not fun when you bet $1,000 that you need for rent and then you lose.
Absolutely. I was just going to get into that. If you're betting, say, $100 when you're late on your utility bills, then you should not be betting in the first place. It is definitely not worth the anxiety, the stress, and it just negatively affects your life if you can't handle money in the first place. So if you're getting into sports betting, you need to be pretty good with budgeting money in the first place because it's really easy to get greedy in sports betting. But also we want to show you that it's really fun and you can do it responsibly every single day if you want to. And we're examples of that. We're average, everyday dudes who work full-time jobs and part-time we bet on sports and we enjoy watching sports. Now, if you listen to our very first episode, we introduced ourselves of, kind of where our passion for sports had started. But now we're teaching people how to bet on sports. We've been doing this for about 4 years now, and we want to put new people on game. We know that the sports betting industry is about to expand into all 50 states over the next 5 or 10 years. And we want to teach all these people that want to get into it how to be responsible and how to make money while doing so.
Yeah, let's start with this. We'll start with how often you're going to bet. If you happen to be in Vegas and if you have a set dollar amount of money you're going to blow in Vegas, like, oh, I'm going to spend $500 this weekend and I'm going to spend 300 of it sports betting. Okay, cool. That's totally fine. You don't sports bet all the time. If you do that, that's great. Awesome. Have a fun weekend. This isn't directed for you guys as much as someone who's sports betting fairly frequently, whether that be once a month, once a week, a few times a week, or daily. So if you're going to bet daily, you need to split your budget up a little bit smaller because you don't want to bet $100 daily maybe. Maybe you want to spend $100 weekly. So if you bet once a week, okay, cool, you have $100. You can bet all that on a Saturday. You can bet it on NBA, NHL, fights. Or if you bet daily, you need to split that $100 up for how often you're going to bet during the week. But I think a big part of it is you need to pick a dollar amount that you are willing to spend over a week, a day, a month, however. And I think it's really important to stick to that amount because if you start losing and then you're like, oh man, I need to get this back, and then you go get the debit card, that's a wrap. It's all over.
That's when you need to quit right then and there. Think of it as if you're buying groceries every week. If you're sports betting, set an amount. Say if I want to bet, $50 or $100 a week, I'm not going to bet more than that. A way how to break that up into betting often every day is a lot of people don't understand is you can do bets as low as $2 and $5. It ultimately depends on the sports book that you're at. But in Las Vegas, you can do sports bets as low as $2 per bet. Now, obviously, that's not going to be a very good payout or a very high payout. But at the same time, if you're wanting to do it for fun or often, you can do bets that low. And a lot of people don't even know that in the first place.
Yeah, and that
Another
makes it really
piece of
fun, man.
advice is if you want to get into sports betting, start with these tiny bets. So whether you're winning or losing, it's not affecting you at all. And then as you learn more and more about the sports betting game and all the different ways and variations of bets that you can place, then you can start betting more amounts of money that you feel more confident in betting. But we want you guys to realize that the budget is the most number one thing that you have to pay attention to, because if you're not responsible with your money, then you should not be sports betting in the first place.
Yeah, I think comfort's a big part of that, man. I am a greedy dude. If you see our tickets on Instagram, we hit a lot of bets. Most of the $5 bets, $10 bets are me. Ryan will do crazy parlays. He does all different things. So he'll do $2 bets with 6 teams on it, 8 teams on it that pay $80. So a $2 bet, you can win $80 sometimes off that. But sometimes you'll bet 20 or 30 on a big game, or 50, or if your team's in the Super Bowl, you'll bet more money. You'll bet $100 on your team to win the Super Bowl. That's understandable. But there's a lot of different ways to do this, and I think it's important if you're starting as someone brand new to sports betting. I think you should only bet $2 and $5 bets until you're comfortable with it.
Think about this. There is so many Americans out there that go and buy a lottery ticket on it on the daily basis for $2. And obviously, you could have the potential of winning 100 million, but your chances are so slim to none. Hell has to freeze over essentially. So what we're saying is, on a daily basis, instead of going to buy a lottery ticket, if you enjoy watching sports already, there's a very low chance, but still you could place a $2 or a $5 bet and have an opportunity at winning $1,000 or $2,000. Now, of course, these chances are going to be also pretty slim to none, but they're going to be a lot higher than betting on a lottery ticket. And we also want you to feel like you have some control over your ticket. When you're going to place a lottery, you may have the option to pick your numbers, but with sports, you get to pick the teams that you think are going to win. So even though you're gambling in a way, you have control over where your money's at. And I think that is so cool. And you have the option to bet, amounts as low as $5 or $2. If you're into hundred or thousands of dollar bets, we'll get into that later on. But this is an industry and this is a place that you can bet with any type of budget, whether you work at McDonald's, you're a teacher, you're a cop, a lawyer, whatever you're doing in the world.
Yeah, you can bet any amount you want. And I think that the most important part about that is being new. Start small. It's okay to start small and get comfortable. Learn the game before you start throwing big bucks around. You know what I mean? So in conclusion, I think the big points we've made in this episode to start in budgeting is you want to start small if you're new to it. Decide a budget. Know how much you want to spend daily, weekly, monthly. Stick to that budget and just be comfortable with what you're betting on. That's a big part of it.
So episode 1 is, if you're looking at getting into sports betting, you need to create a budget first. You need to decide all those factors that we covered. And once your budget's complete, turn over to episode 2 and we'll have that out next. Check that out and we will teach you the next steps of sports betting 101.
Yep. Thank you. Lunch money out.